Hey, hi everyone. It is Johanna. I am here for the Orbital Astrology forecast. This is going to be for the week of May 22nd through May 28th. So we are officially here. Let me just adjust this. I swear it's like every week I'm like, so yeah, we are here. Let me just put that down. I'm here and I'm wearing a hoodie because, if you are here in New Mexico, the temperature was 39 degrees this morning at the very end of May. And yes, I know if you were in Colorado or Denver area, you had snow. So, yes, we're dealing with a little bit of interesting weather, which is, I guess you can look at the transits in the astrology and see that as well. Um, but we are at the final week of May. We're in the very last full week of May. And there's going to be some interesting shifts this week. So we are currently in the thick of Mercury retrograde. So what's going to happen this week is going to be a shift in the energy of the Mercury retrograde, and Mercury will be backtracking into the sign that it was in before. So out of Gemini back into Taurus. So we are going to get another dose of Taurus energy. If you are alive, say hi. Um, I know that it's Sunday afternoon, and if you were cold this morning, you're probably bundled up under something. It is getting a little bit warmer, which is nice. But if you are here live, say hi. And if you're watching the replay, you can always leave a comment, and I can come back and answer any questions later. So, there. Yay. My hair is like never cooperating with this. So anyway, Mercury retrograde, and we are officially done with eclipse season. Oh, hi. Getting ready for a barbecue. Yes, it's barbecue season as well. Though where Sharon is, there is much less fire danger. So I'm happy that there are some people in the country who can have barbecue right now without worrying about forest fires. So yeah, we're kind of in this very interesting transitional period. In the United States, it's considered Memorial Day next weekend, so that's the unofficial start of summer, and everyone wants to go camping, everyone wants to go barbecue and hang out and do all the fun things. But we have something happening this week that's very um, possibly dangerous. And that is Mars going into the sign of Aries. So currently we have Venus in Aries. We have Jupiter in Aries, which we talked about a few weeks ago, and what happened in our culture and in American society. We had the documents leaked from Roe v. Wade when Venus went into Aries, so all the women got angry, which is Venus energy. Women in Aries has got all fired up. Then we had Jupiter go into Aries, and Jupiter is judges. So of course this is involving the Supreme Court. There was a bunch of news coming out about people protesting in front of judges' houses. So anyway, that was a big Aries energy with two of the most benefic planets. So we're talking about usually good energy going into a very I guess not unstable sign, but just a lot more aggressive energy versus Pisces energy. So we saw what happened when those two planets went into Aries, but now we have a third person, a third member of the zodiac or of the solar system going into Aries. And this one is the most powerful in Aries. So Venus in Aries is, not super happy. Venus can't do what she wants. She feels like limited and frustrated, angry. Obviously, she doesn't get to be her fully compassionate, loving self in Aries. She's kind of on the opposite end of that spectrum. Jupiter is not necessarily bad in Aries, but it's not as happy as it was in Pisces. Mars has been in Pisces where it was kind of diluted. The energy was a little bit, it was kept under the water. It was suppressed a little bit, which when you think about the energy of Mars, which is technically considered negative energy or malefic energy, that's a good thing. We wanted to keep it underwater. We wanted to keep it calm, and sort of not as damaging, right? Because it wasn't able to fully express itself. However, we are shifting from that this week into one of its most powerful signs, which is Aries. Aries, Mars is the natural ruler of Aries. So if you have an Aries sun, or if you have placements in Aries, other planets or an ascendant, or your angles or your nodes or whatever you have in Aries, those planets are going to get a boost of energy when you see Mars going into Aries this week. And that happens on Tuesday, the 24th. So it's kind of a big deal because we have not seen Mars in Aries since 2020. Mars takes 2 years to go through the entire zodiac. So if you guys remember what happened in 2020, not saying there's going to be another pandemic, obviously. I mean, we're still technically like in the pandemic, but we really saw how strong Mars was in Aries in 2020. We saw the fact that Mars kind of, and in Aries, speeds things up, things get a little more intensified, a little faster. Mars is the planet of action, so making decisions, the planet of doing something. That really was, we could see that happening in 2020 with the pandemic getting, with its swelling and its rising and its falling and people getting sick really fast, stuff like that. I'm not saying people are going to get sick really fast again. I'm just saying that's the type of energy that Mars is going to be moving into as of the 24th of May. So how do we look at this in a positive way where we can think about what do we want to take action on and where can we put this energy to good use? So yes, if you're working on any sort of project, if you're working on any sort of job, or you want to focus this energy to make decisions or to have fast action. And I know we're still in Mercury retrograde, so don't, freak out and think, oh, I can't make any decisions. We're still in Mercury retrograde. Yes, we are going to be there for a little bit longer. Mercury goes direct on June 3rd, so it's not that much longer. We're kind of in like the tail end of Mercury retrograde right now. So when you feel Mars moving into Aries this week on Tuesday, you may really feel like I have to, like this urgency, like you have to go do something. Or something, you may actually feel forced to do something because Mars is such a powerful aspect, or a powerful planet in getting things moving and like wanting to go out and do something. And so with Mercury retrograde going on, you may feel like you're not ready, or you're like, I have to rethink about this, or I don't know yet, or you're kind of waffling around a little bit, but you may feel that conflicting energy of I have to go do it as well. So just to be aware of that. It's also, here in New Mexico, we're dealing with forest fires that are kind of making national news. And so when when Venus and Jupiter went into Aries, that was when our forest fires got really huge. So I'm just a little bit worried about the fact that Mars is going to join those two and be there for a little longer. So one good thing that's happening this week is also Venus is leaving Aries. So she's like literally running for the exit. I don't want to be in Aries anymore. I'm running towards my favorite sign, or one of my favorite signs, Taurus. So from about the 24th to the 28th, there is this weird little intensification period of all of these three planets in Aries. So I would say the first half of this week, you may feel they may be a little bit more intense, or a little more aggressive, or a little bit more sort of pushy. You may be a little angry. I always think about, if you think about the emotions of Mars, they're obviously getting fired up about something, or getting angry about something, or having rage about something. Also motivation. So this does show up as a motivating force as well. So yeah, the first half of the week we may be feeling a little stressed. Mercury does retrograde back into Taurus on, I think today actually. Let me look. Mercury is retrograde. So today's the 22nd. Mercury is going, into Taurus, going backwards into Taurus at 7:15 p.m. Mountain Time. So you can adjust for your time zone. There's also something right before Mars goes into Aries, since it's making a sextile to Capricorn. Aries and Pisces and Capricorn are sextile to each other. So, of course, pesky Pluto is still there at 28 degrees, just sitting there at 28 degrees Capricorn. So, Mars, every single planet is at the very end of water and earth signs. Uh, they're going to make this opportunity aspect to Pluto. So, Mars is coming into a sextile aspect to Pluto today, and this happens pretty soon, about 4:15 p.m. Mountain Time. That Mars is going to be coming into like a conversation with Pluto. So this can definitely mean a opportunity to look at what actions you have taken towards your own personal transformation or your own personal journey. So this also can mean what actions have you been forced to take, or what situations have you been forced to look at, um, that have like come to the surface and cannot be ignored. That's the type of energy when Mars and Pluto are together. It also, kind of can show up as how much, how strong have you been, uh, reassess your strength right now, because those two planets, Mars and Pluto, combined really do show an intensification of strength, or things that you've really had to endure, things you've really had to um, really dig deep and focus on and work with. So I know the eclipses have been very difficult for many people, especially the past eclipse in Scorpio, being a Mars ruled eclipse. One thing we can think about with the Mars ruled eclipse is Mars was in Pisces when the eclipse happened. So we can be thankful that Mars was not in Aries yet when that eclipse happened last week. So there may have been a little bit of comfort, or some sort of spiritual transformation that happened during the eclipses, even though it was a Mars ruled eclipse. So we are still digesting a lot of that information, a lot of that stuff that was happening over the eclipses, the final eclipse. We are moving away from eclipse season, which is nice because we'll get a little bit of a breath, a little bit of a reprieve till the fall. However, Mercury is going to do something interesting, which means when it stations direct, because right now we're in the final sort of phase of Mercury retrograde, which means that if you think back to the last week of April, that's the territory that Mercury is covering right now. It's going back through those final degrees of Taurus. So think about what was going on in your life that first week of April, and those issues will the last week of April, and those issues may start resurfacing, or you may get a second chance to look at them again. Um, but once Mercury hits that final point in Taurus before it turns forward again, it will be at 26 degrees Taurus. Well, which is interesting because what degree was the Scorpio eclipse at last week? It was at 25 degrees Scorpio. So what two signs are opposite each other in the zodiac? We have Taurus and then Scorpio. So 180 degrees, they're apart from each other, and the eclipse was happening at 25 degrees Scorpio, Mercury stationing direct at 25 or 26 degrees Taurus. So I think there is going to be another final re-edification or review of what happened during the Scorpio eclipse as Mercury stations direct. So I think we're kind of in, like I said, the digestion, the review process of what happened in the eclipse during the eclipse season. And then when Mercury stations direct on June 3rd, you might finally be able to move forward with it. You might finally be able to come to terms with what happened, or what is going on, or what realizations you had, and you don't know what to do with it right now. June 3rd, you may have that, yes, okay, I get it, I understand, let's move forward. And that will be an interesting turning point because it is happening directly opposite that eclipse point. So, yeah, we talked a lot about this stuff at the Albuquerque astrology meeting yesterday, which was great. We had a huge group. Everyone was talking about the eclipses. We talked about Mercury retrograde. So, yeah, it was kind of nice to hear individual stories about how it's been affecting people. If you want to leave a comment about how it was affecting you, yeah, totally go right ahead and do that if you want, or make a comment in the Resonant Essentials group, or yeah, you can always message me directly if you want to talk about what happened during the eclipse, because sometimes they are really potent turning points in our life. So anyway, Aries, we have on the 24th, we are like full into Aries season. as far as those three planets, because the moon is also going to be in Aries on the 24th. So it's kind of like you're going to feel that Aries energy. Like, I think it's really going to be very apparent of that energy shift on Tuesday. Also, Tuesday is Mars's day. So it's like Mars, 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 Mars. Moon ruled Mars, Mars in its favorite sign, and Mars day of the week. So Tuesday, you may be a big day for people, or it may be a day that people really want to just take action and do something. It's a speeding up of the energy. Pisces is a little slower, a little more relaxed. Aries is not. Aries is just like, let's just I don't care what people say. I want to go do the thing, and I want to do it now. So that you may notice things speeding up on Tuesday. And then from now on, I mean, we're also in Gemini season now. So air and fire seem to be the theme. We don't really have much water at all in the sky right now. Neptune is the only planet in a water sign as of the 24th, because once Mars is out of Pisces, we will literally have just air, earth, and fire. So please be careful out there, especially if you are in New Mexico or in any other state that has drought conditions. It's, like I said, Memorial Day weekend, people really want to go out and have fun. They want to, everyone wants to be outside in the good weather and have barbecues. So if you are in a place where it's dangerous, please be careful, be safe, and please no open fires if you live in an area that is facing that. So anyway, so we talked about Mars sextile Pluto. That's today. Let's see what else we're dealing with next week. The moon is moving from, so we have Pisces moon right now. Then the moon moves into Aries right before before Mars moves into Aries. So the moon will move into Aries at 3:39 p.m. on Tuesday the 24th, and then at 5:17 p.m. Mars goes into Aries. So yeah, it's gonna be like Aries and Mars all doing their thing next week. So Wednesday we have Mercury going back into Taurus. It's already gone into Taurus, but it's going to be making a sextile to Pluto, right? Because we have earth and water signs that are always going to have a positive aspect to Pluto, and fire and air signs that will have a negative aspect to Pluto. So Mercury's gone back into Taurus. It's going to be reiterating all of the things that you were doing that last week of April. But when it comes into this alignment with Pluto, that's asking yourself, what has Mercury retrograde really taught you so far? What is it? What are the messages you're getting from your path, your life path, for your evolution or your transformation or your maturity? I mean, Pluto is the planet of death, so we always think about our own mortality and the fact that we don't live forever. So Mercury, delivering messages. So those things can be connected. It is a positive aspect. So don't, this can be a positive aspect about facing your own mortality, or getting news about something, or reviewing something that it's very sobering, but also very, could be transformational, or working towards your own development and growth. So that happens on Wednesday the 25th for this little trine aspect between Mercury retrograde and Pluto in Capricorn. Thursday the 26th, we are dealing with another sextile. Venus is sextile. Oh, this is an asteroid. I actually don't cover asteroids usually in my forecast, so I'm going to skip that. There's just so many aspects to go over, especially if you add asteroids into astrology. So we just try to keep it simple so we don't get too complex. So Friday the 27th. Okay, so this is when things get a little more interesting. Pluto really is having a conversation with multiple planets this week. As I said, Venus is just running to get out of Aries. She's ready to leave. So on the 27th, which is Friday, the moon's going into Taurus, which is very happy. Everyone loves to have the moon in Taurus. That's where the moon is the most exalted. So it's like the moon's the queen of Taurus, and in Taurus, the moon is queen. So that's a very nice, calm, like relaxing, feel-good aspect that's happening on Friday the 27th. And then Venus, who is the ruler of that moon, that Taurus moon, is she's at the almost very last degree of Aries. She's at 28 degrees, and she is going to be making a square aspect to Pluto. So Pluto's really kind of like checking in with multiple planets this week. So you may feel a little bit like, I don't know, exhausted by the the realness of life, because Pluto is about reality and facing reality and the harsh aspects of living in this very mortal world that we live in. So there is a conversation between Venus and Pluto right before she's like, I'm out of here. Um, so that could be a tough conversation, but also in the bigger picture, dedicated towards changing your life in some aspect or changing your love in some aspect, because, Venus is the ruler of love, the goddess of love, also the goddess of relationships, artistry, and beauty. Also money. So this could be a money conversation as well. Sort of like, where am I? What am I doing with all my money? I mean, it's the end of the month, right? We're all like, ah. So Saturday the 28th is the big day. Venus finally gets to leave Aries and go into one of her favorite signs, Taurus. So that will be a lovely shift, because Venus will finally get a little bit of the upper hand after being in Aries. So you'll notice that. So next Saturday could be a pretty nice day to just relax, feel the sensory aspects of Taurus, because even though we've officially left Taurus season, so the sun has moved out of Taurus into Gemini. When Venus goes into Taurus, that's really a celebration of what the beautiful joys of life are. Simple pleasures, being with friends and having relationships, also being outdoors and feeling the sun on your body, and um, good food, good drinks, good, beautiful clothing, any sort of expression of beauty, flowers blooming. If you are a gardener, that's a huge, wonderful day to be out in the garden on the 28th. So next Saturday. So yes, we're at 22 minutes. So I don't want to keep this too long, and I hope that you all are having a wonderful weekend and staying safe. So and if you guys ever have any questions, definitely message me. My website is orbitalastrology.com. I'm also at resonantessentials.com as the in-house astrologer there. So please send me a message, or if you are interested in looking at your own chart and see how all of this stuff is affecting you, where all the Aries planets are going through your chart, then you can book a reading with me through either of those two websites. So yes, I do online readings, and I also do readings in person if you are in the Albuquerque area. So I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will see you back next Sunday. Bye.